All right, welcome back to the channel. So Oleksandr Usyk absolutely mops Anthony Joshua in an entertaining, but in my opinion, one-sided fight. And pretty much, what can I say, dude? Pop goes the hype job again. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So look, I told you, Anthony Joshua is not all Anthony Joshua was cracked up to be. He had a fight, a very, very good fight with Oleksandr Usyk, a cruiserweight, former undisputed cruiserweight champion who moved up to heavyweight to challenge him. It was a very, very good fight, entertaining fight. But in that fight, Anthony Joshua was absolutely outclassed. He didn't have any answers for Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk just beat him with nothing but pure boxing skills. He wasn't outspeeding him. It wasn't more power or any of that. It was that Oleksandr Usyk is just fundamentally a better fighter than Anthony Joshua. And now Anthony Joshua has lost all three of his belts. And I just can't tell you, man, this is something that I've been saying for a long time about Anthony Joshua. And what was going on with Anthony Joshua over there in the matchroom camp. Anthony Joshua has been a protected fighter, and he really this time ran into somebody. The first time that he ran into what I think was a top-notch fighter, he lost. Even Anthony Joshua himself would say that this was his toughest fight since the Vladimir Klitschko fight. But Vladimir Klitschko was 40 plus years old, and almost got Anthony Joshua out of there in that fight, man. I'm going to tell you the biggest problem that Anthony Joshua has, and this is why I'm telling you he did not fight Deontay Wilder, is because Anthony Joshua does not have a chin. Anthony Joshua was rocked every time Oleksandr Usyk hit him, and Oleksandr Usyk is not by any stretch of the imagination a very, very big puncher. He's not a light puncher, but he's not somebody that is a very, very, very big puncher, right? So what happened in the fight was I think Anthony Joshua was pretty much losing from the first round to the 12th round. I was listening to Roy Jones Jr. in the commentary, and Roy Jones Jr. was talking about how he was coming back and winning rounds. But pretty much, man, Anthony Joshua just didn't have any answers. He really never could use his size and strength on Anthony Joshua, on Oleksandr Usyk, because he couldn't land a punch. Alexander Usyk's upper body movement was his upper body movement and his endurance was too much for Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua wound up, I think he started tanking out, pretty early. And then, Alexander Usyk paced himself. He went, pretty hard in the beginning, kind of coasted a little bit in the middle rounds, but in the end of the fight, man, the dude absolutely, just picked it up and he dominated Anthony Joshua. Now, my understanding is that they have a rematch clause for Anthony Joshua. I'm telling you, right, they're going to exercise that rematch clause, and we're going to see this. We're going to see the second fight, but he might as well not do that, man, because really that second fight is going to get worse than the first fight. That was truly being outclassed in a boxing ring, and it's not that and I'm telling you, it's not that I think Oleksandr Usyk is a very, very good fighter, but more than anything, man, and I've been saying this for a while, I think these really, really big heavyweights are overrated. And the fact that they were relying so much on Anthony Joshua's size and his strength and his power and his height and, being this big 6'5", big 6'6", 240-pound guy. The guy gassed out, man. He gassed out, but he just doesn't have the fundamental skills or the boxing skills to beat Oleksandr Usyk, and that fight ain't changing. I don't think because of the susceptibility of Anthony Joshua, because of his chin. I think that's probably the biggest reason. If he had a chin and he was actually able to go at Oleksandr Usyk and be able to take some shots, wear down his body, I think he would have had a chance to win the fight. But it's just the fact that he's got such a brittle chin is, it's just not going to do very well for him. And I'm telling you, back to the fight with him and Deontay Wilder, that was what was going to happen with Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you, and that's the reason why Eddie Hearn did not make that fight, and why he was so much in trying to push Dillian White onto Deontay Wilder. I'm looking forward to seeing what Oleksandr Usyk can do as the heavyweight champion. Again, he's going to have a rematch with Anthony Joshua that in my book is just going to go, it's just going to go the same way, man. I did a video, really did one video on this Anthony Joshua fight coming in, and what I said was that I thought Anthony Joshua was a broken fighter, and that he was a broken fighter off of what happened to Andy Ruiz. After the Andy Ruiz fight and Andy Ruiz knocking him out, he's just not, his chin was exposed to himself and the world, and he's just not really willing to engage. He got the comeback fight against Andy Ruiz, but he was making sure that he was staying as far away from an overweight and slow-footed Andy Ruiz as he possibly could. He wasn't taking the fight to him. He didn't try to, he wasn't going for, going and trying to wear Andy Ruiz down. He was just fighting from a distance, and that was the first time that I thought, okay, yeah, Anthony Joshua, he may win this fight with Andy Ruiz, but he left a lot of himself in that ring with Andy Ruiz, a lot of his confidence in the ring with Andy Ruiz. And then he moves on and he fights, to fight Alexander Pulev, Kubrat Pulev, not Alexander Pulev, Kubrat Pulev. But Kubrat Pulev was very, very far past it. Didn't really have the athleticism to hang with Anthony Joshua. And he was just a guy that is, I thought, just a lower range fighter, man. But this is going to be interesting to see how Matchroom Boxing and UK Boxing come back from this. They were looking, talking about making a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua fight, and they were mentioning it all through the commentary, but obviously, that is out the window. And I don't ever really think, that all the grandeur and all that stuff is really going to return around AJ, unless, there's something I miss about UK boxing. But I will tell you something, man. I was really appreciative of the fact that Alexander got that win. Alexander Usyk actually got that win because, even though I thought he won most of the rounds, all the way to the end of the fight, I was like, look, man, he's going to have to really step the gas up on Anthony Joshua and try to get Anthony Joshua out of there. And he can't really just sit and rely on the fact that more than likely, he won all those rounds in the beginning and the middle of the fight. And that's what Alexander Usyk did. He pushed the gas. He stepped his foot on the gas, and he came and he beat Anthony Joshua. So, my hat goes off to Alexander Usyk. He was a very, very big underdog in the fight. I don't understand why, man, because I was saying coming into the fight that Anthony Joshua, again, people are overestimating these big heavyweights. Even if you look at like what happened with Tyson Fury and Steve Cunningham, or Tyson Fury and John McDermott, guys like that who give these bigger tall guys, problems. Man, the biggest problem that those tall guys really have is their chin. Tyson Fury has a chin problem. Anthony Joshua has a chin problem. Vladimir Klitschko has a chin problem. About the only guy that I can really say I know for sure that just didn't have rampant chin problems, who was that height, was Vladimir Klitschko. But shoot, Lennox Lewis had that problem, man. If you clip him, he can get up out of there. But and that's what happened early on in the fight with Anthony Joshua. Usyk got his respect, and Anthony Joshua could never really figure out how to go on the offensive. And Alexander Usyk's defense was too much for him. Just all around, man. Just all around too much for the guy. It's going to be interesting to see, though, these heavyweight rankings when this stuff comes out, because I guarantee you, no matter what, these guys over there at Ring Magazine and ESPN are going to keep Anthony Joshua ahead of Deontay Wilder as far as top heavyweights go. It's just hilarious to me. But anyway, very, very entertaining fight. Fight went kind of like I thought it would go, except for it wasn't in Vegas. It wasn't out there in Arizona like where Oscar Valdez was fighting, where we had to worry about some type of corruption in the scorecards. My hat goes off to the judges for a fair scorecard, and congratulations to Alexander Usyk, and too bad, so sad, Anthony Joshua fans, man. But he'll be back for another one. You let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.